All right, so welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha.
Yeah, we've got this YouTube video here,
Yeah.
and it's all in Spanish,
Oh, wow.
but it makes some pretty bold claims about the benefits of ashwagandha. So we're going to be sifting through all the hype, uncovering the real science, and figuring out if this ancient remedy is something that might be relevant to you.
I love it. Yeah.
So first things first, can you give us like a quick breakdown of what ashwagandha actually is?
So ashwagandha is known scientifically as Withania somnifera.
Oh.
And it's a plant, but not just any plant. It's what's called an adaptogen.
Okay, hold on. Adaptogen. That sounds kind of sci-fi. What does that even mean?
Think of it like this life throws you stress, right?
Yeah.
Deadlines, traffic, that never-ending email inbox.
Oh, yeah.
Adaptogens like ashwagandha basically help your body handle that stress more effectively.
Okay.
They work to maintain balance or homeostasis, so you're less likely to get thrown off by those everyday pressures.
So it's not like a chill pill that just makes you indifferent to everything.
Right.
It's more like it's helping your body cope better.
Exactly. It's like having a built-in buffer against the wear and tear of stress.
Okay.
And the video really emphasizes that aspect, particularly when it comes to physical and mental performance.
Which makes sense because if you're less stressed,
Right.
you're probably going to function better overall.
Precisely.
Okay.
And that's where the science comes in. The root of the ashwagandha plant contains these compounds called withanolides.
Withanolides.
Yeah. And while the name might sound a little intimidating.
Yeah, it sounds like something a bodybuilder would take.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But it's important to clarify, withanolides are not anabolic steroids.
Okay.
And they don't directly boost testosterone.
Oh.
They have a completely different mechanism of action.
That's good to know because the video does talk a lot about ashwagandha's benefits for strength and vitality.
Right.
So I think a lot of people might jump to conclusions about how it works.
Absolutely.
Right.
But what's fascinating is that even though it doesn't directly impact testosterone, it still seems to have a positive effect on those areas, likely through its stress-reducing properties.
Okay.
And speaking of benefits, the video really hypes up ashwagandha's ability to help with anxiety.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to that?
Well, there is. Studies have shown that ashwagandha can actually reduce levels of cortisol,
Oh, wow.
which is the hormone your body releases when you're stressed.
Okay.
So in a way, it's tackling anxiety at its root.
Which is interesting because the video's creator specifically mentions feeling calmer and being able to handle stressful situations better.
Yeah.
It's almost like those personal anecdotes line up with the scientific findings.
Right. It's one thing to read about it in a study, but it's another to hear someone actually describe how it's impacting their life.
Right.
But of course, I have to ask, does this mean that ashwagandha could replace prescription anxiety medication?
It's important to be cautious here.
Yeah.
Ashwagandha shows promise. But it's not a substitute for prescribed medication, especially if you're dealing with a diagnosed anxiety disorder.
So it's more like a complementary tool for managing everyday stressors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's evidence to suggest it might even help with sleep, which the video also touches on. The creator actually shared how their sleep quality improved after incorporating ashwagandha.
Better sleep is always a bonus, especially when you're trying to manage stress.
Yeah.
But the video doesn't just focus on the mental and emotional aspects.
Right.
It also talks a lot about ashwagandha's potential for athletic performance.
Yes. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Studies have shown that ashwagandha can increase VO2 max.
VO2 max. For those of us who aren't exercise science geeks, what does that actually mean?
Basically, VO2 max is a measure of how efficiently your body uses oxygen during exercise.
Okay.
So a higher VO2 max means you can push harder and longer before getting tired.
Yeah.
Think of it as boosting your endurance and stamina.
That makes sense. And the video specifically highlights ashwagandha's ability to enhance performance and recovery for athletes.
Yes, and the science backs that up.
Okay.
Not only can it improve aerobic capacity, but there's also research suggesting it can enhance strength and muscle recovery.
Okay, I'm starting to see why this plant is getting so much attention.
Right.
It's like a multi-tool for well-being.
Yeah.
But what about brain power? The video claims that ashwagandha can boost cognitive function too. Is there any evidence to support that?
There is ashwagandha acts as an acetylcholine agonist.
Okay.
Now, acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter,
Okay.
basically a chemical messenger in your brain.
Bear with me. I'm trying to keep up.
No worries. So acetylcholine is crucial for things like learning and memory,
Okay.
and ashwagandha basically enhances its activity, which could potentially lead to improvements in cognitive function.
So it's not just about feeling less stressed, it's about actually improving your brain's ability to process information and remember things.
Exactly. The video even briefly mentions the link between acetylcholine and Alzheimer's disease.
Yes, that definitely caught my attention too. Does this mean that ashwagandha could be beneficial for people with cognitive decline?
It's an area that needs further research. But the initial findings, along with ashwagandha's antioxidant and neuroprotective properties, are definitely encouraging.
So there's potential there, but we need more data before we can make any definitive statements.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Now, I can't ignore the elephant in the room. The video makes some, let's say, enthusiastic claims about ashwagandha's effects on libido and sexual function. Is there any science to back that up?
That's a great question. And it's a little more nuanced than simply saying ashwagandha directly increases testosterone.
So it's not like some magical aphrodisiac.
Right. Instead, it seems to work by reducing stress and promoting overall hormonal balance.
Okay.
And because stress can often be a major factor in libido, it makes sense that reducing stress could have positive downstream effects.
So it's more about creating the right environment for things to flourish.
Exactly. The video also mentions improved sperm quality. And there is research suggesting that ashwagandha could benefit male fertility.
Okay, so there's definitely some intrigue there. Let's say someone wants to explore this further. How much ashwagandha should they take, and what's the best way to take it?
The general recommendation is between 500 and 1,000 milligrams of root extract daily.
Okay.
The video actually suggests splitting the dose, taking half in the morning and half later in the day.
Interesting. I'm guessing individual needs might vary, though.
Absolutely. It's always a good idea to start with a lower dose and see how your body responds.
And of course, check with your doctor, especially if you're taking other medications. The video also mentions combining ashwagandha with melatonin for sleep.
Yes. And while that might be helpful for some people, it's always best to consult with a healthcare professional before combining supplements.
Sound advice.
Yes.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from stress and anxiety to athletic performance and even cognitive function.
It's amazing.
But there's still so much more to explore.
There is.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll delve into some of the potential risks and side effects.
Okay.
We'll also discuss how to choose a high-quality ashwagandha supplement. So stay tuned.
I can't wait. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of ashwagandha. We've been exploring its potential benefits, but like with any powerful substance, it's essential to look at the whole picture, right?
Exactly. We want to make sure our listeners are well informed.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the potential downsides. Are there any risks or side effects associated with ashwagandha?
While ashwagandha is generally considered safe, there are a few things to keep in mind.
Okay.
Some people might experience mild digestive issues like upset stomach, diarrhea, or constipation, especially when they first start taking it.
So kind of like their body adjusting to this new plant coming into the picture.
Precisely. And it's important to remember that ashwagandha can interact with certain medications.
Okay.
For example, if you're taking medication for thyroid disorders, blood pressure, or diabetes, it's crucial to talk to your doctor before adding ashwagandha to your routine.
That makes sense. We want to avoid any unexpected surprises or conflicts. The video didn't really go into any potential interactions. Right. So it's great that we're covering that here.
Absolutely. It's all about making informed decisions. And while we're on the topic of precautions, pregnant or breastfeeding women should also avoid ashwagandha,
Okay.
as its effects during those periods haven't been thoroughly studied.
Okay. So it's always best to err on the side of caution and consult with your doctor if you have any concerns.
Yeah.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
Now, let's say someone has gotten the green light from their doctor and they're ready to try ashwagandha. How do they go about choosing a high-quality supplement? There are so many options out there. It can be overwhelming.
You're absolutely right. The supplement market can be a bit of a jungle.
Yeah.
But here are a few key things to look for.
Okay.
First, opt for a supplement that contains standardized extracts of ashwagandha root.
Standardized extracts. Okay, I'm taking notes. What does that even mean?
It means that the extract has been tested to ensure it contains a consistent amount of the active compounds, primarily those with analytes we talked about earlier.
Oh, okay.
Look for a product that contains at least 5% with analytes.
Got it. So not all ashwagandha supplements are created equal.
Right.
We need to be discerning shoppers. What else should we be looking for on that label?
Second, check for third-party testing.
Okay.
This means an independent lab has verified the quality and purity of the supplement, ensuring it meets the claimed potency and is free from contaminants.
Yeah.
You'll often see certifications from organizations like USP/NSF or Consumer Lab.
So it's like a seal of approval from the experts. That makes a lot of sense. Anything else?
Finally, pay attention to the form of the supplement.
Okay.
Ashwagandha is available in capsules, tablets, powders, and even liquid extracts.
Wow.
Choose the form that works best for you and your lifestyle.
Mm.
Some people find powders easier to mix into smoothies or drinks, while others prefer the convenience of capsules.
It's all about personalization, finding what fits your routine. This has been super helpful. I feel like I'm starting to navigate the world of ashwagandha supplements with a bit more confidence. But I'm curious, beyond the potential benefits for stress, anxiety, physical performance, and cognitive function that we discussed earlier, are there any other areas where ashwagandha might be helpful?
That's a great question, and it highlights one of the most exciting things about ashwagandha research.
Okay.
Scientists are constantly uncovering new potential benefits of this ancient herb. For instance, there's growing interest in ashwagandha's potential role in supporting immune function.
Oh, interesting. The immune system is definitely a hot topic these days. Tell me more.
Well, studies suggest that ashwagandha can enhance the activity of natural killer cells,
Okay.
which are a type of white blood cell that plays a crucial role in fighting off infections and diseases.
So it's like giving your body's defense system a boost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this could be particularly relevant in today's world where we're constantly exposed to various stressors and pathogens.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like having an extra layer of protection.
Yeah.
Any other emerging areas of research that you find particularly intriguing?
Absolutely. There's promising research suggesting that ashwagandha might play a role in regulating blood sugar levels,
Okay.
which could be beneficial for people with type 2 diabetes or those at risk of developing the condition.
Wow, that's significant. It sounds like ashwagandha is a real multitasker, potentially addressing a wide range of health concerns.
It's truly remarkable how this ancient herb continues to surprise us with its versatility and therapeutic potential.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that research is ongoing, and we're still learning about all the ways ashwagandha can benefit our health.
That's a good point to emphasize. As with any health information, it's crucial to stay informed, consult with healthcare professionals, and make decisions that are right for you.
Right.
Speaking of staying informed, where can our listeners go to learn more about ashwagandha and delve deeper into the research? Are there any reliable resources you recommend?
Of course, the National Institutes of Health's website is an excellent place to start.
Okay.
You can also find reliable information on reputable websites like WebMD Mayo Clinic and the University of Maryland Medical Center.
Okay.
And always remember to look for information from sources that cite scientific studies and are backed by credible experts in the field.
Great suggestions. I always encourage our listeners to be curious, to question, and to explore further. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm wondering, is there anything else about ashwagandha that you find particularly remarkable or that you think our listeners would be surprised to learn?
You know, one thing that I find particularly fascinating is the concept of ashwagandha as a rasayana in Ayurveda.
Rasayana. Now that's a new one for me. What does that mean?
In Ayurveda, rasayanas are a special category of herbs that are believed to promote longevity, vitality, and overall well-being.
Okay.
They're thought to rejuvenate the body and mind, enhancing both physical and mental resilience.
Wow, that sounds pretty incredible. So ashwagandha is not just about addressing specific symptoms or issues. It's about promoting a deeper sense of vitality and well-being over the long term.
Exactly. And that, I think, is what makes ashwagandha so captivating.
Yeah.
It speaks to our innate desire to live healthier, more vibrant lives.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. And perhaps ashwagandha can play a role in helping us do just that.
Perhaps it can.
Well, this has been an incredible journey so far, but there's still more to uncover. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll delve into the cultural and historical significance of ashwagandha, exploring its role in ancient traditions and its enduring legacy today. We're back for the final part of our deep dive into ashwagandha. You know, I'm really starting to see why this plant has been revered for centuries.
It is fascinating, isn't it? It's like we're peeling back layers of time, uncovering the wisdom of these ancient traditions.
Exactly. So let's talk about that history. How far back does ashwagandha's use actually go?
Well, in Ayurveda, ashwagandha has been used for over 3,000 years.
Wow.
Think about that, 3 millennia. It's even mentioned in some of the oldest Ayurvedic texts, like the Charaka Samhita,
Okay.
where it's praised for promoting vitality, strength, and longevity.
That's incredible. It's amazing to think that this plant has been a part of human health practices for so long. And the name ashwagandha itself, it sounds so powerful. What does it actually mean?
The name comes from Sanskrit,
Okay.
and it literally translates to smell of horse.
Smell of horse. Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
I know, right? But it's not as strange as it sounds. The root of the plant has a very distinct aroma.
Okay.
An earthy, almost musky scent that some people say resembles the smell of a horse.
Ah, I see. So it's not about tasting like a horse, it's about the scent.
Right.
But I have a feeling there's a deeper meaning there, too. It's not just about a literal smell, is it?
You're absolutely right. The horse symbolism is actually very significant.
Right.
In many cultures, horses represent strength, power, and stamina qualities that ashwagandha is believed to enhance.
That makes so much sense. It's like the name itself embodies the essence of the plant. So we've talked about its use in Ayurveda, but I'm curious, has ashwagandha played a role in other cultures or traditions?
Absolutely. It's been used in traditional African and Chinese medicine as well. In Africa, it's been used to treat a wide range of conditions, everything from fevers and inflammation to infertility. And in Chinese medicine, it's been incorporated into formulas to support energy, vitality, and overall well-being.
It's really amazing how this one plant has touched so many different cultures and healing traditions around the world. It speaks to its universal appeal and its power to resonate with people across time and space.
I completely agree. And that brings us to the future of ashwagandha, which I think is incredibly exciting. With modern science starting to validate many of its traditional uses, researchers are eager to explore its potential in even greater depth.
So what's on the horizon for ashwagandha research? What are scientists most excited about?
Well, there's growing interest in understanding how ashwagandha might be used to address modern-day health challenges, things like chronic stress, anxiety, and sleep disorders. There's also research exploring its potential role in preventing and treating serious conditions like cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and Parkinson's disease.
Wow, those are some ambitious goals. It's amazing to think that this ancient plant might hold keys to unlocking solutions for some of the most pressing health issues of our time.
It really is remarkable. It's a testament to the wisdom of traditional medicine and the incredible potential of the natural world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember about ashwagandha?
I think it's this. Ashwagandha is more than just a trendy supplement. It's a powerful plant with a rich history and a promising future. It represents a holistic approach to health and well-being, one that emphasizes balance, resilience, and vitality.
That's beautifully said. And I think it's a perfect note to end on. So to our listeners, we encourage you to continue exploring the world of ashwagandha. Do your research, talk to your healthcare provider, and see if this ancient plant might have a place in your modern life. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of ashwagandha. Until next time, keep learning and keep diving deep.